Okay, Ralph back again with a Keto Diet update. Let me flip this little camera around here. This is Sunday, and I am on day 4 of my ketogenic diet, coupled with intermittent fasting. And I got on the scales this morning and discovered something pretty fantastic. I lost 4 pounds in 4 days. Now, that is definitely more weight than what I had planned. My original goal was to be losing like about 2 to 3 pounds per week. But heck, I'll take the extra weight loss. So yeah, it's going pretty good. Restarting my keto diet after being off it for about a year was, I don't know, I think mentally it was kind of a challenge. But once I got back into the routine, it's, no big deal. I've intermittent fasting now. I've cut myself down to 2 meals a day, and I'm fasting about 15, 16 hours every day. And that helps my body to metabolize any sugars that I consume. Of course, being on keto, the only sugars I get in my diet now are natural sugars, like the sugars in the fruits and the vegetables that I eat. I've cut out all the processed sugar out of my diet. And then after my body has burned off all the sugar, then it starts burning off the fat. And if you're not consuming a lot of sugar and you've got a lot of fat to burn, the keto diet / intermittent fasting combination is a really great combo for taking off weight seriously. And that's what I found from my experience about a year and a half ago. And, from this second time around with keto, just the last 4 days, it has been a pretty serious program to follow, and a pretty easy program to follow, too. There are a lot of books out there, a lot of materials, a lot of stuff that you can find freely on YouTube introducing you to keto and intermittent fasting. But, once you learn the basics and internalize it and then just start doing it, you can really get down some pretty serious weight loss. And my goal now is, currently I'm at 256. I want to get back down to 200, so about another 56 pounds, see what I look like, and then just take it from there. But the neat thing about my experience over the last year and a half with keto and intermittent fasting is that a year and a half ago, I started on the keto diet with intermittent fasting, that combination. And I was on that for about 6 months, and then my dad died. And under the stress that came in that period, taking care of his final affairs and all that stuff, psychologically, I just went back to my old comfort foods. So for a while, the keto diet was out the window. In that 6-month period, though, I did manage to lose about 40 pounds. And what was really neat is that I kept off keto for about a year. But I kept to the intermittent fasting program. And keeping to the intermittent fasting program, even being off of keto, I didn't lose any more weight, but I didn't gain it back either. In the past, my experience has been that I can lose like 40 pounds and then get off the diet and gain back 50. That didn't happen this last time around because of the intermittent fasting. So what I'm thinking is, right now I can use keto diet and intermittent fasting as a combination to lose the weight and lose it, decisively. And then when I've lost enough, when I get back down to 200, or maybe if I want to get back to my high school weight of 175, we'll kind of play that by ear, but I have that option. Once I get to that point where I've lost the weight that I want to lose, I can then use the intermittent fasting as a vehicle to keep that weight off. And I know that's a problem that a lot of people have in weight loss, is you can lose the weight, but then once you get off the diet, you gain it right back. Well, with the intermittent fasting, you lose the weight and you keep it off, because the intermittent fasting is a discipline that you learn that after a while it just becomes second nature. Usually when you're on a diet for a specific length of time, and then you get off of it and you just gain the weight back. But once you learn a discipline, and intermittent fasting is a discipline, you have the tools that you need, not only to take the weight off, but also to keep the weight off. And so the tools that I'm using right now for serious weight loss is a combination of intermittent fasting and keto diet. Now, once I lose enough weight, then the tool that I'll rely on to keep the weight off will be primarily intermittent fasting. I probably won't go back to a whole lot of sugar in my diet, because that's highly detrimental to health, and not just the way you look, but other aspects of physical health. So I don't really think I want to go back to that place. But it's nice to have ice cream every once in a while. But yeah, for the future consideration of keeping the weight off, I'll be using intermittent fasting. And that's an easy discipline to learn. You just set your mind that you're not going to eat for about 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Cut yourself down to 2 meals a day. Or some people take it really seriously, and they cut themselves down to 1 meal a day, and that's pretty rigorous. I did that by accident yesterday. I ate a pretty big breakfast at about noon, and I was so full from that breakfast that I didn't get hungry again until about 6 in the evening. And by that time, I figured, well, it's kind of too late for dinner, because I don't like eating after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock for me was kind of pushing it. So I just went ahead and just let that 1 meal a day be enough for me. And it sounds kind of extreme, but once you get used to it, it definitely is doable. But if you're wanting to get into intermittent fasting, kind of ease your way into it. Set your mind, maybe make your goal 12 hours a day of fasting, and set your time when you're going to have your last meal at dinner time, and then your first meal at breakfast. Make sure you schedule, at least 12 hours in between those 2 meals. And then after a while, you can go ahead and increase the time, and that's how I got into it. You sleep 8 hours a day anyway. And just make up your mind you're not going to eat 2 hours before you go to bed, and you're not going to eat 2 hours after you wake up, and there's your fast time. And then you can just increase your fast time from there. So anyway, that's my update for today. I've got to kind of wrap this video up. But if you like this topic, please subscribe, like, share, and all that kind of stuff. And be seeing you in future videos. But right now, this is Ralph signing off, and we will catch you on the flip side in the next video. Thanks for dropping by.